Yo, what's up guys, Boss here, and I'm back with another YouTube video, and this time we're going to be playing some top ladder with 3 different giant decks. So I planned on making a video Sunday, but I was pretty busy, so sorry guys again for not making a video on Sunday, but we're here today. And if you guys didn't know, Giant's pretty bad in the meta right now. So I kind of had to adjust my Giant E-Drag deck. And what I did is I have 3 giant decks that I'm going to be playing with today in this video. About 5 games, we're going to switch between them. I'm going to start with this deck, and then I have Giant Double Prince, which seems to be doing alright right now. It's not the best, but it's probably slightly better than Giant E-Drag. I'm not sure why, I just feel like there's a lot of RG Lightning, Furnace, that deck, and just a lot of Fisherman in general. And maybe just the extra pressure with the Double Princes works a little nicer. And then last, we have a Giant Cycle deck, which actually is kind of a runoff off of the RG Cycle deck that you might have seen going around a ton in the meta right now. But long story short, Giant's struggling right now, and the main reason why is just due to the amount of Fisherman and Executioner nado. But let's go ahead and go in our first game. We're at 7,200 right now. I guess the goal for this video would be like 7,300. I really want to hit 8,000 by the end of the season, but you know, I'm gonna be honest, I feel like it's definitely something I need to work hard for, because this is one of the first seasons where I've had to really push myself and like try my hardest when pushing. Normally I can generally get top 200 pretty easily, but it's been very rough for me. And it's not a good meta for Giant, and I didn't really know, you know, what to do. I was testing out some other decks, it wasn't working, so I'm really trying to use Giant, but I might have to use an Executioner nado deck. I mean, we'll just kind of have to see how it plays out. So it looks like here we're versing Logbait. So what I found with this deck is when you don't have the Prince in the deck and you have the Fisherman in the deck instead, it's a little bit, you can kind of get in an awkward cycle occasionally, and that's just because the Fisherman doesn't do the best against Mortar or like Logbait decks, but you can still win. I mean, like, you still have 3 spells and you still, I mean, have Miner to kill the Princess, but you just need to like kind of, right here we just outcycled his Inferno. I'm gonna Fireball, I wanted to hold off on it because I wasn't sure if he was going to play an Inferno Tower into it, but look at that, guys. We're going to end up getting a lot of damage, and I guess that was because he didn't have his Inferno Tower in rotation. Alright, I'm going to Fisherman here because what I wanted to do is distract the Princess and at the same time kill that Knight. And now since he has his Goblin Gang out of rotation, I'm pretty sure we can end up just going in with a Mega Minion on top of that Princess. So really nice start for us, and it's always good to be in the lead against Logbait or Mortar, or like any deck that has a cheaper cycle than you, and that's just because in double, it's easier for you to break through, but if you end up having the lead in single, that's just really good. So I guess we're gonna get a really valuable log here. The only like problem for us is obviously his Princess ended up getting, I think, 3 shots it was, but at least we got a, I think that's a 4 elixir value log, if I'm not mistaken. Princess 3, and then the Goblin Barrel's 3 logs too, so 4 elixir value, not bad at all, but maybe it wasn't the best to let him get that damage. But I think our Giant might end up getting a hit here unless he logs. Yeah, so Giant gets a hit. He does go in with another Princess at the bridge, and I'm just going to E-Drag on top of it. I don't really want to Fireball it or log it. I mean, I want to save my log for the Goblin Barrel ideally, and I don't really want to Fireball a lone Princess at the bridge. I'm pretty sure, yeah, he juked that. I was able to, oh wow, really well played on his end. I actually didn't hit everything. Let's go in with a Zap here on top of the Inferno and the Goblin Gang. And I don't think we're going to end up getting a Giant to the tower bit just because he has all that spam down, but if we're lucky it'll get a hit, and that doesn't look like it. So I played my E-Drag there. Notice that I did that, and the reason why is because of his Princess, obviously. In a way, I was kind of predicting it. Let's again send another Miner and switch up the Miner placement this time, but again, he's just going to catch it. Yeah, guys, so I actually don't know if, let's Fisherman here. Pretty sure he juked that. There we go, so we caught it all this time. Let's go in with a Mega Minion, and then let's go in with a Giant, and then I'm gonna Fireball his Princess and the Inferno Tower, and hopefully we can end up breaking through. Nah, he goes in with a Goblin Gang, so we're not gonna get any damage once again. Alright, this is really coming down to the wire. Megumin this lane, we're not going to give him any sort of rocket value. And this time, we're going to end up catching all of the, let's zap. This is pretty intense, guys. I mean, he's playing this quite well, but I think we're going to get a fisherman lock. And we wind up taking the lead, but wow, guys, this is intense. I'm actually going to miner and then going with a fireball on top of the goblin gang. Ooh, wow. Alright, and he's going to go for the rocket cycle, probably. So let's zap his tower. I'm going to miner, switch up the placement. There we go, guys. We got a hit, and that's going to be a good game because Log is going to finish it off. I'm actually going to give him the well played. I mean, he played that quite well, to be honest. As I said, when you don't have the prince, your cycle can get a little awkward, but I felt like we were kind of on top of that game. I mean, the main issue was when he got 3 princess hits on our tower, but besides that, we didn't really let him get much damage with the goblin barrels. He did end up juking us one time where he got 1 goblin hit, I think. But yeah, overall, pretty close game, but we managed to, like, win just by, I guess, maybe it was a little luck. I just noticed I was able to spell cycle. I knew if I didn't spell cycle, he was going to start spell cycling me, and you always want to spell cycle first before the faster cycle deck does, or else you're just going to end up losing. Like, if he threw rocket on my tower and then I started going in for, like, a bunch of spell cycling and miners, it would have been already too late. So yeah, so 3 wins away from 7,300 now. Let's go ahead and switch to this giant cycle deck. So this is the one of them I was talking about, or we could go to giant double prince, or maybe we could save that for our 3rd game. Let's go in with this giant cycle deck. So if you guys didn't already see this deck, basically it's this deck, but it has royal giant instead of the giant, and then it has knight instead of the miner, but I kind of adjusted it to fit like a giant deck more, because I feel like if I have knight and giant in the same deck, it doesn't really work. But yeah, I mean, right now, just any deck with like fisherman or executioner nado is really solid in the meta. So yeah, I mean, I have to say, it's a very interesting meta. Like, I definitely, there hasn't been one like this in a long time, where I mean, maybe you could argue there has been, but I really feel like this one, you're limited to how many decks you can play in the top of the ladder. You have to use executioner nado, you have to use fisherman, or you have to use 2.9, something along those lines. So the thing about this deck is you can actually play giants and single elixir quite freely, and since he went in with a miner, I had like a good feeling that he didn't have a P.E.K.K.A or anything like that, or like, and he actually ends up having a giant of his own. So let's go in with skeletons here, musketeer, because I want to kill that miner, and the reason why I really want to kill it is because I just want a fisherman here, get our king tower activated, and there you go, guys. That's why you can see, like, right here, that's why, like, giant's really bad in the meta, and it's because of the fisherman just being able to easily activate king. So since that musketeer is already almost dead, I'm actually going to go in with a giant this lane with the fisherman supporting, and then I'm going to go in with minions, and then, like, let's kind of see what spell he has. I'm actually going to zap here to kill that mega minion quicker, and he ends up going in with a fireball, but since that fisherman locked on his tower and we had the giant still up, after that fireball he had no elixir, he zaps it, but honestly, no way he could really stop it. And what I'm actually going to do right now is, since he just went in with the zap and ice spirit, and I know he's lower in elixir than I am, it's pretty safe here to go in with a miner and then skeletons to back it up, since he doesn't have a zap in rotation, and also he might have to spend some extra elixir to defend. And even after spending that extra elixir, our skeletons end up locking on the tower, and yeah, we end up getting like a pretty nice lead. I feel like he's just kind of been a little all over the place this game. I mean, we probably do counter, of course, since we have the fisherman, but pretty interesting that he, like, switched lanes there. I don't really know why he did that. but I guess he's just kind of going in for, like, desperation pushes at this point, probably. That's, I mean, because I think he's just down so much he might not really have a choice. But yeah, as I said, this is why Giant isn't good in the meta. If you're using a Giant deck without Fisherman, it's just not that good. So that's why all the Giant decks I'm using, I'm making sure they have the Fisherman in it. And I think he gave up, because as I said, we just had a huge lead, no way for him to really come back, and we just had a good matchup, to be honest. I mean, he has a fast cycle too, but just because we have the Fisherman and a quick cycle as well, he can't really outcycle us. And also very similar deck, to be honest, to what we had. Let's, like, take a look at his deck. It was very similar. I think the main difference is he had Earthquake in the deck instead of one of the cards I had, and then it's pretty much the same thing. Yeah, so, like, look at that. Pretty similar. I mean, the main difference, I would say, is that he had Earthquake instead of, I guess, my Musketeer, and then he had Ice Spirit instead of my Fisherman, and then it's the same, I think. Oh, and Minions. So, 3 cards were different, but overall, very similar deck. And yeah, so off to a good start. We won our first 2 games. Let's go ahead and switch to this Giant Double Prince deck now. That actually, I think I saw some, like, people in the top, like, 100 using this who were using, Giant players. And this is the Giant deck that doesn't actually have the Fisherman in it. I mean, I guess I could replace the Fisherman in for Dark Prince, but then stuff like P.E.K.K.A. would probably be quite difficult to beat, in my opinion. So I'm just gonna, like, leave it where it is. Then again, P.E.K.K.A. isn't used a ton in the meta right now because of all the Executioner nado and stuff. Which does well against P.E.K.K.A. if you guys didn't know, because it does well against the Battle Ram, and then if they're using the Minions variant, it just shreds through the Minions. And then I guess after this game, we can go back to Giant E-Drag, the first deck I played this video, and then we may wind up getting 7,300 after getting 4 wins in a row. I mean, that would be pretty nice. Did I say 7,400? If I said 7,400, I meant 7,300. I'm a little tired. Busy day today. Shouldn't be taking too long to find a game. Yeah, I mean, we're like 500th right now. We're not insanely high up, so we should be finding a game. I'm not too sure why the queue time's so long. There we go. Okay, so found a game here. So it has been a while since I played Giant Double Prince, but I played it like a year ago, so I have the general, like, idea. So let's go in with a Mega Minion and a Giant here on top of his Expo. He decided to Expo first play the game, and to be honest, I'm not really too sure why, but we're for sure going to punish him for that because we had our Giant in rotation. I mean, we're not going to really get a lot of damage, but at least we end up getting 1 hit. The only issue now is we don't have our Giant in rotation. I think he might be back to another Expo, which is pretty unfortunate. But yeah, we'll see. We do have extra tanks, though. Like, the beauty of Double Prince is it ends up having more tanks if you're versing Expo, which is really good. Let's go in with the Dark Prince and then see what he does. If he goes in with an Expo opposite lane, we're back to a Giant. So he's just gonna log. Okay, let's just E-Wiz. I mean, I can't really cycle a Giant in the back when he has an Expo in rotation. And he's probably just gonna Fireball this. I'm not really sure, though. Okay, let's Mega Minion. Alright, he just goes in with the Giants. So, or, I mean, an Expo, so let's go in with our own Giant. And have Zap ready in case he goes in for, like, skeletons or something, but it doesn't look like he's going to, so I'm going to send in a Miner in the back. And he doesn't catch the Miner, so we're going to get a few hundred damage, which is really nice. And we're getting towards double, so he's not going to be able to outcycle us as easily. I'm just going to mute just to focus. I really like muting because the emotes kind of distract me in a way. It's not like they necessarily annoy me or anything, but they're a little distracting. I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but sometimes I just like to have it muted so I can focus on the game. And then, like, sometimes at the end, like, I can unmute to say good game, but otherwise I just really like to focus. Okay, let's go in with a miner on his tower again, and then we have Dark Prince to tank if he decides to go in with an Expo, which he does. So let's Dark Prince here, and he goes in with... I'm actually going to go in with a Giant, because I feel like since he doesn't have that Tesla anymore... Oh, wow, guys. I was saying wow because the Dark Prince ended up, or the Mega Minion got targeted by the Tesla. Yeah, that's why I was a little upset. Oh, wow, so he is Rocket? Okay, so I think we might have actually lost because he can probably just cycle a couple rockets now. But of course he doesn't have it in rotation right now, so we might be fine for the time being. Ooh, bad zap on my end. He might actually just be able to rocket cycle right now. I don't know if that's too risky, but if he does do that, we're gonna have to spam him with everything we have. Okay, he's just gonna choose to defensive Expo. And once that Tesla pops, let's go ahead and go in for a Fireball on the Expo and the Tesla. So he used a defensive rocket. That's good for us. We don't want him to rocket our tower. I really want to giant other lane to make sure we're keeping the pressure up. And then let's go ahead and miner as well. Zap on those archers, so then the miner one-shots them. And this is good. We're keeping the pressure up. He's not going to be able to rocket cycle if we continue to do this. This is very good. If we do this, he can't rocket cycle us. And he again chooses to rocket on defense, which is good. I E-Wizzed other lane because I was actually thinking that he was going to go in for an Expo, but that wasn't the case. Okay, he goes in with his Expo finally. Let's get a Giant down, Fireball and all of that. That's really good value. And no lock. But the question is he going to go for that rocket? Ooh, he actually lets that get a hit. Okay. This is getting pretty intense, guys. He might end up just going in for that rocket cycle. Oh, wow, that was such a close game. Sorry, guys, for not talking. I mean, obviously, that was, like, really, really intense. Okay. I really wasn't sure how that was gonna turn out. I thought maybe he was gonna, like, rocket cycle us earlier. And to be honest, if he had rocket cycled us earlier, I think he would have won. Because if he had done that, his tower would have actually had more HP, and there wouldn't have been a way for us to get it, so he could have played a rocket when he had 10 elixir, I feel like earlier, but maybe it's just because we kept applying so much pressure, he wasn't able to. So wow, that was really, really good. I mean, that was really kind of, I don't know if that really was a comeback, but we kind of really readjusted ourselves, because we were kind of down when he got that Expo lock in the middle of the game, and then we just kind of bounced back from that, didn't let him get any more damage, didn't allow him to rocket cycle, and yeah, we just kind of kept the pressure up. That was really, really nice. And now we're one game away from 7,300, so let's try to get it right now. And once we get it, we're still like 700 off of 8k, but I promise, guys, if I get 8,000 trophies, I'll make a live video of it, like live me getting it is what I mean. But yeah, I'll probably not talk a ton in it because I really want to focus, or if I do, it won't be as much. Like, I'll probably talk whenever the game isn't intense. But yeah, I have a few days to get it, but with school, it might be kind of difficult. We'll kind of have to see. And I can't stay up last few hours of the season either. But next season I can, because I have off November 4th, and I'm excited about that, because next season I can go for a good finish. Taking a while to find a game. I'll cancel and research. Sometimes that's what you have to do if it's just sometimes glitched or something. I don't know like why that happens, but sometimes you just need to cancel and research. There we go. So, gotta win this game, and then we get 7,300. Goes, what? Level 11? Is this guy like the best log bait player in the world? To be at 7,200 with a level 11 princess? Wow. Guys, I'm blown away. I actually haven't seen that before. I've seen level 11 fishermen's this high up, but a princess? Is this guy, like, that good with log bait? It actually doesn't even look like it's log bait. I don't know this is weird, guys. But props to him. I mean, that's pretty nuts. Level 11 princess. Couldn't I actually zap that? I don't know for sure, but doesn't a level 11 princess die to a zap? I could be wrong, but I feel like it does. I really don't know. And I don't know if I want to test it, because that's something that's risky, you know? Okay, so he decides to graveyard. Is he gonna freeze? Thank goodness he didn't, because if he did, we didn't have anything to stop that. We would have had a fireball. There's the, yeah, level 11 princess again. I'm gonna fisherman again. I really want to get rid of that. And I'm gonna actually go ahead and go in with a giant and have my fireball ready. Oh, wow. Okay, that's really bad for him. And then we can just fireball on top of those barbarians. Musketeer should die to the tower. He actually ended up stopping that without taking too much damage, huh? That's pretty unfortunate. Okay. Going in double, pretty even. I'm gonna send in a miner here. I hope he doesn't have nado. I assume he doesn't, because he hasn't used it yet. That would have been pretty annoying if he ended up nadoing. So again, we're gonna log the graveyard. Our best way of killing it. Ooh, that was actually a pretty bad giant. I'm not gonna spend any more on the push. I'm just gonna miner that princess to kill it. Yeah. I think he might have us here, unfortunately. Unless we somehow stop this and then break through his barbarians. He did poison. That's a little aggressive. Let's go for a fireball zap here, hitting the wizard knight. Does he have anything good in rotation to kill that? Musketeer, okay. Let's go in for a giant. Log that princess. I think he might be back to barbarians though. Oh, I think we have him actually. Fireball here for his barbarians. That's gonna be a game. Honestly, yeah, I'm gonna give him the wall plate too. I mean, he hit 7,200 with a level 11 princess. That's pretty impressive. I don't know if he had it maxed if he would have won, but that's still pretty insane. Right on the dot. Wow. That's nuts. I mean, I think this is a good place to end it. I mean, right on the dot, we got it. I'll show you guys all the decks again. So, deck slot 1, we have my Giant E-Drag deck that you guys know I use a lot. Only difference is we have the Fisherman instead of the Prince, and the reason why that is because Fisherman's OP. And then in deck slot 2, we have Giant Double Prince, which is working for some people. This might be what I try to use the rest of the season. If I test it a little more, and it seems to be really, really good. Or better than Giant E-Drag or this Giant Cycle deck. But yeah, I think I'm actually going to title this video Top 3 Decks. Top 3 Giant Decks for ladder in this meta. Because honestly, I think these really are the best 3 decks right now. Because Giant's really struggling in the meta, these are probably your best 3 options. So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to like if you did, subscribe if you're not subscribed already, and let me know what you guys want to see next time. But I assume you guys just want to see some more ladder pushing. I'm going to try to get to 8K, so plan is to have a video Thursday. Hopefully that video on Thursday is getting to at least 7,600, because if we're not at 7,600 by Thursday, we're not going to have a solid chance of getting 8,000 by Sunday. So, yeah, that's the game plan. Goal of this season's 8,000. I'm not going for top 10 finish or anything crazy. Just, I really want to get 8,000 because I haven't done that yet. Because if you guys remember, I got banned 31 days, and it was like a day before the season ended that I got banned, and I was like 50 away from 8K, so that was really unfortunate. But anyways, yeah, getting a little off topic, but I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Good luck with your ladder pushing, and I hope these decks work for you. I mean, we 4 wins in a row, which is pretty insane. And actually, we ended up getting more than 4 wins in a row, excuse me, because we won a couple of games before I started recording. I lost to Logbait here. As I said, your cycle can get a little awkward, but this guy's really, really good with Logbait. So, yeah, thanks again, guys. Until next time.